Hello students. Now in this lesson we are going to take into account the connective tissues, remaining ones, which is tendon, ligament, cartilage, bone and blood. So what we are going to study over here is the basic composition, how this white fibrous, adipose, areolar, how they are different in their basic structural composition. You remember there is a matrix present inside connective tissue basically and the cellular component. So we are going to see in each case how the matrix is different from the other one, how the cells are different from other one. So let us see the case of tendon first. Now what a tendon is all about? We are not able to move our muscle away from the bone. So that particular tissue which joins the skeletal muscles to the bone, inextensible tissue. Please remember, inextensible tissue is the tendon. Okay, and the other one is ligament, which enables the movement. Like I'm able to move my hand like this because there is a tissue known as ligament present between both the bones, which joins the bones, and because it is elastic, so it enables the movement. This is inextensible, so it does not, you can never separate a muscle from your bone. So that is the reason that it is attached by a tendon. What is a tendon? Tendon is an inextensible connective tissue. What is it made up of? It is made up of collagen bundles. Now what are collagen bundles? You have studied that collagen fiber is the immovable fiber. Basically it is the rigid fiber that is present in the animals. So these collagen bundles, when arranged parallelly, they provide a very dense matrix. So basically the collagen bundles with a dense matrix make this as dense regular connective tissue. Please remember, it is dense regular connective tissue which is formed by collagen bundles which work as the matrix and the fibroblasts which basically secrete these bundles that are to be arranged parallelly to each other. Okay, so the cells which are present are fibroblasts which secrete these collagen bundles which are parallelly arranged, and that's why the tendons are inextensible. Okay, then the next thing is the ligament. What is the ligament? Ligament joins bone to bone. That enables the movement. Now let's see what its matrix is made up of and how the cell is, what is the basic composition of the tissue. The matrix is made up of yellow elastin fibers which are scattered randomly here and there. So there is no regularity. So this happens to be dense irregular tissue. As I am saying dense, that means the matrix would be fibrous yet again, but the fibers are elastic. In the name it is written that elastin, that means these fibers are elastic. That means there would be certain degree of elasticity which enables the movement. There would be fibroblasts which would be secreting these elastin fibers here and there. So there is irregularity. And what is the function? The function is joining bone to bone at the joint so that movement can be enabled. Now we move to cartilage. What is cartilage? Cartilage is also a connective tissue which is solid and semi-rigid. It is having a matrix which is not as dense as the bone, but yes, it is dense. It is present on, if the bone, long bone is like this, there is cartilage that would be present at the ends of the bones. Touch your nose, touch your ear, they are hard but they are not as hard as bone. So what are they made up of? They are made up of cartilage. This particular region of your nose, your ear, this is a cartilage. Or you might have heard that when a child is born, it is not having bones. It is having maximum of its skeleton, that is cartilaginous. Later on ossification takes place and the bony skeleton is formed. So we need to know that cartilage is an important connective tissue. Let's see what its matrix is formed of. Its matrix, unlike these, it is formed of special type of material, that is a protein, basically protein derivative only, that is known as chondrin. The cells which are present inside the cartilage are known as chondrocytes. You must remember, this is no cell type, this is a protein derivative that forms the matrix which is not as rigid as these fibers. That is why it is semi-rigid or little bit elastic. No, not elastic at all, it is rigid but not as rigid as bone. That is why we use the term semi-rigid. Nowhere we use the term elastic. Why? Because the matrix is made up of chondrin, which is a protein, which is a rigid protein. Now inside this matrix there are lacunae. What are lacunae? Lacunae are spaces, empty spaces which have 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 chondrocytes filled inside them. So you have, if this is your cartilage, what you're going to have is that there would be lacunae, and inside it there would be 1 or 2 chondrocytes scattered inside the matrix. This is supposedly lacuna. This is a very simple description I'm trying to tell you. You'll get a clear knowledge about this when we see slides of these colored slides, so they give a better expression of the things I would want to tell you. These are lacuna, and inside them you can see the chondrocytes, and this entire is the matrix which is rich in chondrin. Now on the contrary, when we come to the bone, bone is a hard and dense connective tissue. You must feel it. Bone is certainly hard. The matrix is made up of another protein that is known as oosin, which is much harder than the chondrin thing. Then we have cells, osteocytes. Over here we have chondrocytes. Chondro word is oftenly used for cartilage. So whenever you see chondro, do remember that it is associated to cartilage. You might have heard this word in classification where we say that there are cartilaginous fishes as in shark and rays. They are chondrichthyes. So chondrio word has been taken from here, this cartilage thing. And there are bony fishes, they are osteichthyes. So remember that osteo word is often going to, often not always in fact, it is going to represent the word bone. So we have oosin as the matrix, osteocytes. Each osteocyte would be located in a lacuna. Over here you need to remember the difference that in a lacuna of bone, cartilage, in a cartilage's lacuna there would be 2 or 3 chondrocytes. In case of bone, there would be a single osteocyte present inside the lacuna, and the metric oosin is very much rich in sulfate, fluoride, calcium and phosphate compounds. That is why our bones are so hard. Then we come to blood. Please don't feel that I am not explaining the things in detail. We will discuss it in detail because this is the simple clear-cut distinctions that we have to understand, that how this type of connective tissue is different from the other one. For that much, this much learning is enough. Otherwise, when we study the structure of cartilage in detail, we are going to see how each cell is different from that of bone and how bones are formed, what is the Havassian system inside the bones. But for now, you just need to distinguish between the composition of the bone, that is the matrix and the cells, and how they are different. Alright, now come to blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. Over here, we are not taking into account lymph because lymph somehow is blood's derivative only. Blood is again, because it is connective tissue, it would be having a ground substance that is termed as plasma, and there would be cells which would be present scattered in that plasma. So when we talk about cells, I need not to make you remind that RBCs are there, WBCs are there and platelets are there, which we have been reading from our childhood. So the cellular components of the blood have specific function to perform, and the plasma happens to be the ground substance which is fluid and rich in many proteins, just like all other connective tissues which had a ground substance which was rich in proteins otherwise as well. So what you need to remember in entire connective tissue is that there are 8 types. Those 8 types are somehow having a basic structure, that is, they are going to have a ground substance and they are going to have cellular components. Over in some connective tissues, you would see that the cellular components could be less, but the ground substance plays the major role, that it decides whether the tissue is going to be hard, whether the tissue is going to be soft, whether it would be semi-solid, whether it would be fluid. And the cells, they perform the other functions which are attributes to the connective tissue. So this is all about the connective tissue. We do study in detail all these tissues, specifically in each physiological function.